Thank you so much, and welcome to another installment of Unfiltered with Oscar Msomi. This is, of course, Unfiltered, and as you know, it's a show that showcases what a black child can do and can be able to achieve. So, as per usual, we move around, and sometimes we have people coming through to our studio, and we will showcase what it is that they are specializing in. And sometimes we actually move around to beautiful venues like the one that we're visiting today. This is Pazza. It's an Italian restaurant. And it is in Kloof. It's a very nice suburban area that you would definitely like to visit someday. And the food that they serve is just amazing. And the reason we had to come here today as Unfiltered with Oscar is because we want to profile the person who's the business owner who runs this huge ship. And that is Mrs. Moira Ngongoma, who's actually married to a friend of mine that is Uspiso muscle man Ngongoma, and I just had to drop that in. So they're just a beautiful couple and a beautiful family. We'll get into that in a minute. Moira, how are you doing today?
I'm alright, I'm alright. I'm glad it's Friday, weekend tomorrow, get some rest. It's been a hectic week.
It's been a really amazing week.
Yeah.
But thank you so much again for allowing us to pay you a visit and for welcoming us to a beautiful establishment here.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
We're just going to jump straight into it because I know that it's possible that you have customers coming in, and I don't want to cause a problem with that.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that you gave us an opportunity to come and sit with you today is really amazing, and we really appreciate that. Moira, your story. First of all, let me just take it from the top. Moira, as a person who today runs La Pizza Pazza, who owns La Pizza Pazza, and she's such a young woman, you probably came from somewhere, and that led to where you are right now.
Yeah.
So let's look at Moira coming from from a child, growing up to a woman that she is today. Who is Moira, or who was Moira growing up?
Okay, so I was born Moira Nosipum Kize.
Right.
Then I got married to muscle man Ngongoma, Sfiso, in 2018. So from growing up, I grew up in Molweni. My first primary school was the local school. Then in 1992, when they allowed the blackies or black children to arrive in the white schools, I then went to Forestry Primary.
Right.
Raised by a single mother in Molweni. In Forestry Primary, I met a girl by the name of Chantal Rawlings.
Right.
We became very, very good friends, and from the age of 10, her parents then decided they're going to foster me as a child.
Wow. So you are a child, and you're growing up with being raised by a single mother in Molweni, and obviously you had no prospects that there'll be someday I'll have a business of my own in such a beautiful establishment. At that point, we are cooler, and your mother, you're obviously struggling, and you probably weren't able to reach out to Izindobatu as a child at that time.
Yes.
How did you go through that to a point where you were taken over by the family that fostered you?
Yeah, that was tough because my mother's been a domestic worker all her life. She's still a domestic worker right now, and we just battled through things. If I can account for a story that will always remain with me. I grew up in a one-room mud house before I was fostered by the Rawlings, and it was tough. Some days there's no food, or it was putu and tea for a whole week.
Wow.
And my mom, as a domestic worker, she would get lunch, like a cheese sandwich or something. She wouldn't eat her lunch. She'd keep it for me so that I can take it to school the next day.
That little bit of a sacrifice that a mother would do to make sure that the child is actually fed.
Exactly. And I think there was just one thing that she always just drummed into my head is get educated, get educated.
It's the only key that will get you out there.
That was the only thing that would get me out there to then start aspiring to then saying, okay, what do I become now?
Right.
So from the age of 10, I was fostered. We lived in Waterfall with this family.
How did that come about? Because I'm seeing the transition from the point that you're a child. You're friends with the Rowlands, or the daughter of the Rowlands.
Yes.
At the age of 10, they say, listen, to sort of make things easier for you, why don't you come and live with us?
Yes.
And at that point, they were basically taking over the responsibility of being the new parent.
Absolutely.
Right.
Firstly, it was a huge adjustment. And I think also that's why sometimes I find things like racism a bit of a shock still today. At 36 years old, I still find things, because for 10 years of my life,
you didn't experience
I ate, I slept sometimes in the same bed as white people. My mother was
of France. The segregation of I'm black, I'm actually under a white household.
Absolutely not. I got exactly as the kids, whatever the kids got, I also got clothing. But one thing as a single mom that my mom was very proud of is that she still wanted to, even though I was taken in by family, she still wanted to pay school fees.
Wow.
You know, she
so
still
she
wanted
to let go.
No, she didn't want to let go.
That responsibility.
100%.
She was very proud of you as a child.
Absolutely. She was, you know, and I think also it was a blessing, because I think in a way God just wanted me to go a certain direction.
Right.
And it was just a great experience to be with this family and be accustomed to certain things that I was never going to be accustomed of.
Exactly.
Suddenly now, I can have 3 meals a day, you know. I can go to school and not worry. I get picked up from school.
And what a transition coming from a mud house to now living in Waterfall.
Huge. And also, it was also like sometimes a culture shock. Coming back from a big house in Waterfall or Westfall, suddenly back to my mother's mud house.
The difference,
But that experience kind of taught me, Wuti, as soon as I start working in any way or form, I need to build my mother a house.
Exactly.
You know, I need to build my mother a house.
So it gave you a goal to work towards.
Yes.
Let me change the situation of and make a situation better for the parents that actually brought you up.
100%. So we battled for a very long time. And I think those 10 years of my life taught me so many things. You know, just the value of family and what I also learned how, you know, what a marriage is all about as well.
Yeah. Because this is a new setting from being raised by a single mother. Also,
exactly.
There's a mother and father.
Suddenly there's a mother and father, the responsibility of each person in a marriage or in a relationship or in a family setting. So all of those things I learned and became, and also the concept of hard work.
Right.
The concept of hard work. You know, my mom was, she never worked in terms of being paid a salary, but my dad paid her salary because she ran the household. The garden was down to a T. She could mow the lawn, look after the animals, look after the kids.
Holistically.
Beautiful. I mean, she even did things like tiling, you know, but it was just a concept of working.
And at this moment, you're basically picking up the blueprint.
All of these
you're
things.
Looking at the stitch that you obviously have to follow to be someone as well in your lifetime.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that at this age, you were probably in school. I believe that you went to Kloof High and also
for 2 years. Yeah, so I went to Kloof High for 2 years, didn't really like it there, and then I went to Hillcrest. So I finished off in Hillcrest in 2003.
That's right.
I think best years of my life. Very sporty. I don't look sporty now, but you know, played a lot of, you know, played the first team this, first team that. Really enjoyed myself. And then straight after matric went straight into working. So I started then working for my dad, who was quite a big, what they call Liberty agent.
That's right.
So Liberty Life agent, the insurance side of things, and that's really where the bug bit. So he asked me to then look after some of his clients. And
this was you sort of coming into the game now,
Yeah,
16 years.
16 years ago. I was 20. I think the year between finishing school and stuff, I went and worked at a couple of restaurants, you know, just earn a little bit of extra cash.
So you would dabble between this formal employment that hasn't actually started as yet, but you succeeded your job at that time.
Yes.
And you moved from that to something that would actually support your own needs. You wanted that independence. And that's when you found yourself dabbling into the restaurant industry as a waitress.
Yes. So fast forward to 2008. So the entire time I worked, so from my dad, then they immigrated to Australia in 2006. He sold his business. I worked for another insurance brokerage for another 4 years. And then I would say, headhunted by Momentum, worked for Momentum for a year. And then I think the greatest opportunity of my life was Liberty Life. They offered me a job in Cape Town. I left in, just backtracking a bit, 2008, I then had my son, who's now 12, turning 13 next month. And then I was a single mom with no additional income. So I had to substitute that income in one way or another.
What I'm looking at actually is the fact that this sort of pulled you back to what you had experienced as a child yourself, being raised by a single mother. Absolutely. Now you're experiencing the very same thing. And you're still young at this time also.
Very young. I mean, 2008, I think, I was 24, 25, single mom. I've just started building a house for my mom, trying to find myself, trying to do things. So I just decided, you know what? I need to get an extra job that's after hours, what's out there, and that should be a waitress.
That's right.
So I came and worked at La Pizza
Let me
Pazza
tell
as a
you
waitress.
something as well. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
In 2003, because you also finished matric in 2003,
Yeah.
it's the same story with me. I finished matric in 2003.
Yeah.
At that time, I obviously wanted, like any other child, to find myself in a university of some sort, but I guess one would actually find any other alternative at that point. So I found myself in a space where I was at a technical college. While I was there, I needed to support myself as well. Where did I end up working? At one of the restaurants in Suncoast, and that was the best time of my life.
Absolutely.
I actually tell my wife even today that given any opportunity, if jobs out there were to be standardized and everyone would receive the same salary, I'd go back to being a waitress because it's just fun. I don't know, there's just something amazing about it.
It's also it's fun. It just also does depend on what type of person you are. You know, if you are able to interact with certain people,
you'd love it.
You would love it because then you enjoy it. Listen, I won't lie, it's tiring because I mean you're on your feet.
It's the long hours as well.
It's the long hours, and if people really want to just sit and spend and have a jaw, there's nothing you can do because at the end of the day, what they're going to give you is what's going to sustain you.
Before we even get to a part where you take over ownership and buy La Pizza Pazza and have it as your own restaurant, of which we really have to dive into because we just need to showcase it. It has so much and it offers so much. But before that, during this journey of yours, you would also find yourself falling in love with a certain fellow. And this guy sort of becomes your best friend because the relationship that you guys have is just amazing. I've seen videos of yourself singing on Facebook. I'm like,
he's okay.
It's just a crazy relationship. How is that?
Yeah, no, he's okay. He's not too shabby. No, I'm joking. I really do think that they broke the mold when they made my husband. And also, I think I met him at a time where I just thought I'd had enough. I'd kissed a couple of frogs that never turned into princes.
Right.
And when we met, I was not in a good space. I'd been single for a year.
It's usually that time when the two people really find each other.
But also, I kind of had this prayer that, you know what, now, if you're ready to give me somebody, this better be for real. You know?
You had a conversation with God.
I don't have time to be dollaring and, you know, going here, there.
Yeah.
I now need somebody that's going to make a decision and say,
I'm
looking at Moira,
as well.
Does she tick all the boxes or not? And then move right along instead of wasting my time. And honestly, the first day I met him, didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
No, he saw me. I
thought I saw him. You didn't see that love at first sight kind of thing.
Yeah, right? And second time around, it was. I didn't want to go to this birthday party. Yeah. Honestly speaking,
he was at the birthday party,
and he was there, and he just
second time
around, and he says to me, he said something told him, you can't let this one go.
Yeah.
You know. And we started talking on WhatsApp. I won't go into the nitty-gritty of some of the details, but we started talking on WhatsApp, and you know, but also it was so refreshing because I'd like to think I am quite eloquently spoken, you know.
Of course.
And some of the guys I dated couldn't quite understand the sarcasm.
It would be because obviously you come from that kind of
the mannerisms and. But this dude, he got me, you know, some sarcasm he laughed at, you know, and some guy would be like, hey, I wouldn't get this one, you know, she's being disrespectful, but it's sarcasm. And this dude just got me, we got along, and he played rugby, you know. He's got the right complexion. Exactly.
And he does the things the way that you want him to do.
And the body is nice, it's all packed.
That's correct. It's not a muscle man.
So I thought, that's it. And when we started dating, I actually said something to him. And I said to him, because he kept on saying, I've just come out of a relationship. I'm not interested. I'm not going to be getting married. Right. And he kept on repeating this thing. Yes, he kept on repeating. Eventually, I said to him, listen, I am giving you 2 years of us dating. After 2 years, you must decide.
Whether it's working for you or not.
Exactly. If it's not, whether we love each other or not, you go that way, I go that way.
That's right.
6 months later, he proposed.
Get out of here! So he had the idea. He was going to jump in at it.
Exactly. And I think the rest is history. I mean, we've got a beautiful family. We just had a baby. He's 8 months now.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. I think I've heard the little fellow when we did, was it your anniversary if I'm not mistaken?
Yes. He was, I think it's probably about a month old at that time. Yeah, it was about a month old.
He was quite small, I remember.
Very small.
Yeah. How is he?
He's good. He's big and fat now. Looks exactly like his dad.
Seriously?
You know, everything.
I think I did see a couple of photos.
Everything looks like his dad. It's like it was proof, Uti. You know, I'm really yours. I'm really yours. But
more things been signed,
he looks nothing like me. Absolutely nothing.
So he
like
beat you on that one.
Yes, definitely. Right. Which I'm okay with. It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes we win, sometimes you win, right?
100%.
So now you're in the insurance industry.
Yeah.
You're working as a waitress.
Yes.
And at some point, besides the other restaurants that you'd find yourself, you actually worked for La Pizza Pazza twice.
Yeah.
You worked for them, you left them, that's when you took that big gig.
Yes.
And went to Cape Town.
Yes.
But you came back from there.
Yes.
And when you came back from there, your home was still waiting for you. And what did they do? They opened their arms, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I started working. Initially, it was supposed to be for a year.
Right.
Because I wanted to study further. And my employer at the time was only going to fund 50% of my studies.
That's right.
So I decided, you know what? Where do I make money? Being a waitress. So I came back, asked for my job back, and I started working initially for a year. Turned out to be 4 years.
That's what it was supposed to be only.
Exactly. Only for a year for me, just to do my NQF6, and then decided, okay, after the next thing I realized, it's 3 years later, 4 years later.
I'm still here.
I'm still here.
So
this
place doesn't even want to let you go.
This place has been around for 20 years.
Wow.
I am now owner number 4.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you, it's the oldest restaurant in the Upper Highway area.
Get out of here, because it has been here for a while.
It has been here, which says something about the actual brand as well. Yeah, and there's a lot of history. I mean, you've got customers that have been coming here for years and know the
traditional customers that are just
correct. Yeah. So I ended up working here, and then in 2019, I think I'd had enough of the corporate life.
Right.
So I resigned from Liberty Corporate, and then I decided to also resign from here because now I really wanted to pursue what I thought, now this is very strange, what I thought was my passion, and that being an independent broker and doing, because every single time I was servicing clients, a person would say, but hey Moira, why aren't you doing this instead of doing this for a larger corporate? Why are you not on your own? And I decided that was it. Resigned.
Finally, I'm going to take this on, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. And then I took every single cent that I'd worked for 10 years in pension fund monies, because I said to my husband, I don't want to depend on only this, but we have to have some kind of second income.
Exactly.
Because I believe that we
business
really
are
as well, hard-working persons. And business is tight, because the insurance game is all about relationships. If you're not feeling me, you're not going to get the money to take care of. So so we decided to then... So I resigned in February 2019, and in October 2019, I then bought this place.
That is 2019.
I wish I knew about COVID.
It was the worst time, because even COVID bears the name 2019. But this is 2019.
Yeah.
And is it when in 2019? February.
February. Yeah.
Right. So from taking every life saving that you had, you said I will sacrifice it all.
Yeah.
And finally buy what I've actually been a part of, because you also have a history just by being an employee at this place. So in 2019 February, you actually take that final decision in agreement with your husband that, listen, babe, let's do this, and you do it. And I don't think we would say, have you had any other black woman owning this restaurant, or you're the first one? You must be.
No, I'm the first black.
That is monumental.
Black person, and then extra is being a woman.
Get out of here.
So the four owners. It was a couple, a white couple.
Right.
The original owner, he then died in a car motorbike accident, and then she partnered up with 2 other family members, which is Peter and Alison, and they ran this business. When I was working here, I worked for them. Right. And then they decided that they were going to be immigrating to the USA, and then they bought this business from Trevor. They sold the business to Trevor. Right. Trevor Crouch, and then I worked for Trevor for all those years, and then
in a way you were sort of being groomed, because did you at that time think that you'd actually want to buy this place, or it was just I'm working here, I'm going to find myself?
Because honestly speaking, there were so many problems when I was working as a waiter or waitron, that there were certain things that I'd come back home to my husband and say, "Eish, Uyazi, so and so did this.
Yeah.
If I was the owner,
I would have done it like
If I was
this.
the owner, if I would
So
not
it
allow
was
this.
natural, it was
So it was
actually
like-
coming to be.
And I also had such a passion because I always think, Uguti, these days, not back in the old days, but
Right.
these days, going out for dinner is actually a luxury for people,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's not that easy anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when you're going to spend your hard work money, you want to have a really good experience.
Yeah.
So, and my husband will tell you I'm a bit OCD.
Yeah.
So cleanliness is key.
And you need
So
it
there's-
in this kind of
And the
setting.
crazy thing, one of the ladies said that works in the kitchen said to me the one day, because I complained about something not being cleaned properly, and I said
Right.
to them, and apparently I do not remember this. She said to me, yes, and this is when I bought the place. She said, do you remember that you said to us, one day you're going to buy this place and you're going to make us clean this
At the time, you hadn't bought the
I
place.
had not bought
No
the place.
ways.
And apparently I was a waiter. I said, I'm going to buy this place
Yeah.
and I'm going to make you guys clean this place from
That
top
is
to
Jelengi
bottom.
Funai.
That is Jelengi Funai. And truth, Bob, and when she was cleaning and scrubbing the floor, she said, do you remember? I said, no, I never said that. She said, I'm
She was
telling
actually
you.
giving you a little nudge on the back, like remember when.
What's it-
Yeah, don't forget your dream. What the hell?
Exactly. So yeah, when I took over, I made a couple of changes, and I wasn't the favorite employer of the year
Right.
for a couple
Obviously,
of
when
months.
there's a transition between the two,
Absolutely.
I mean, if there's any kind of change, people are going to challenge it. But,
Absolutely.
But before we even cover that part, because I want us to get into what the Pazza is all about,
Yeah.
and the kind of food that you serve and
Yeah.
the kind of cuisines that you have.
Yeah.
The clientele,
Yes.
being in this kind of setting and with the
Yes.
history that you've had,
Uh-huh.
has been mainly
Yeah.
the white population.
Absolutely. So this was my biggest concern when I bought this place.
Right.
Okay, it wasn't the food, it wasn't the staff, it wasn't where it's situated, it wasn't the decor. It was the fact that I was buying a restaurant that had been previously white owned, and I'm black and I'm a woman, and Kloof, Hillcrest, the upper highway area is white dominated.
So the people that come and visit the restaurant are
they
mainly.
going to now eat at a black-owned restaurant?
So this
that
is
was
a bit-
my biggest worry. After I
you got
signed
a
those
chance to
documents,
take
I
them.
thought to myself, what the hell have I done? And I don't want to lie to you, we did record sales.
Wow.
Because of the changes, people were congratulating me,
And
they
they
were
were
saying,
amazed at the new.
"You heard that somebody
this
new
new
had
thing,
come
yeah.
back, and we wanted to try it again." And then I realized, no,
It's not
man,
about the color.
it's not about the color. White people, most white people, and I'm not going to say all, but most white people who spend their money, all they want is the respect and value for money, and they want
Like
to
everyone
have
would
a
want
good
that.
experience.
Like everyone would want that. Yeah.
Correct. So most of my customers, in fact 98% of my customers that come to La Pizza Pazza are white.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
And,
then-
I'm very
and-
grateful for that.
Exactly, and the fact that you still get that kind of support, even being a black woman, because
Yeah.
I think for anyone looking at it from outside in, like you say,
Yeah.
it was a kind of a shocker. Immediately after you signed the papers, I'm like, really, how am I going to be able to run this ship?
Yeah.
Should they learn, the new owner is black, will they give it the support? But being honest as they would be,
Yeah.
they were still able to come back, but
Yes.
just not the normal numbers now. They come back in numbers,
Yeah.
like increased numbers.
And I don't want to lie to you, for the first 1 or 2 or 3 months, I think I hit from being
You didn't want to
high
come
on
to
the
the
owner.
forefront, yeah.
Yes. So my two managers are, and I'm sorry to say black or white, but
Right.
I've got Dean and I've got Darren. They run the show.
Mhm.
Purely because I'm busy with my
Mhm.
insurance stuff
Of
during the
course,
day.
of course.
But most of the time somebody phoned and said, listen, I want to speak to the owner. I'd be like, sure, hold on, sir. Here you go, Dean. You know? And for
Do
the
the
longest
thing.
time.
Yeah.
And Dean was like, you've got to stop saying that, Moira. You know, you're the owner.
This is your baby.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
And because there was that fear, and honestly speaking, it was quite a daunting experience, but also I've learned a lot in terms of
how has it
customer
been though,
relations.
just driving the whole ship now? Because I know, Uti, during 2019 when you took over the ship, you had no expectation that you would meet this monster called COVID-19, but we
Yeah.
actually ended up meeting that monster. How has that hampered your business and the operations? Because obviously there was the lockdown and everything was shut out. Every restaurant was suffering. You were able to stay afloat, and I'm sure, Uti, you had to pull some strings to make sure that you did.
Listen, I don't know about staying afloat,
Yeah.
but so one thing that I love about my family and my husband is asisibona abantu abathanda izinto. We don't like things.
Yes.
So I could drive a Merc if I wanted to, but I choose not to. Okay, I still want my house, by the way, but
there you go.
but I could wear branded name brands and all that stuff.
But that's a choice that you had.
I could take all that income from the business, but that's just not the type of person that I am.
Exactly. And that makes you a winner, of course, because once you're too charismatic, that usually works against you because you end up working to please people.
Exactly, and that has never been my thing. I respect people at face value, and I always just hope that they respect me at face value as well, and not in terms of what I drive, where I live, you know, how I look, and all of that stuff. So I didn't know about this animal called COVID, and I wish I had known about COVID. And I tell you, when they announced the lockdown, we were at home, and I literally I was here. We heard it on the TV. I got home, I opened the door, and my husband looked at me, and all I did was I just burst into tears.
Because what are we gonna do now? Sister was nothing about that's our salary being shut right there.
I cried. I sat on the steps and I just cried. And
Defeated.
he didn't know what to do for a while. He just let me cry.
Yes, yeah.
And then the next day, and you know, somebody said to me that my husband is the warrior and I'm the warrior.
That's right.
And I, you know, he's very good at saying things are going to be okay. You know,
picks me up
and he's chilled, and then he sort of kind of let me solve the problems as well.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how we were going to survive. I don't want to lie and say that we're doing exceptionally well because there's certain things which I wish would have come to our assistance.
Right.
And I obviously have got to be very diplomatic about the things that I say now. Just some assistance from, for example, the landlord, government.
Because I know with the incentives that they said they were going to pump out, it's not a lot of people that got their hands into those.
Tears was a nightmare.
Yeah.
TERS was a nightmare, but eventually some staff or most of them got paid.
You were able to save them through that.
So they were able to eat.
Did you lose any of your stuff?
So when we reopened last year in May, when they allowed level 4, so we opened on skeleton
but still
staff.
with these little restrictions.
And then in July when things were starting to get back to level 2 or 3 or 2, I had to retrench because in my restaurant each section has got 2 employees. So I've got 2 bar ladies, I've got 2 grillers, I've got 2 pasta ladies, I've got 2 pizza ladies.
Wow. And these people are on your payroll.
On my payroll.
They take care of their families.
I have 2 of everybody in the kitchen in every single section, so that also it's to alternate shifts so that people get a rest because it's long hours. But also if suddenly employee A gets sick, I've got employee B to fill in.
So that you don't run out.
Exactly, but also to maintain consistency. Exactly. I don't want you to come one day, you have a steak here,
no, we don't have
a pasta
here. The person to come in today and we don't have steak. I mean, that's just depressing.
It just tastes different.
Actually, you will actually push the customer away just by doing that.
Yeah. Exactly. So I had to retrench each one from each section.
And have just one wing holding that section.
Exactly. So, but because of the hours and the times that we're working, it has worked out. I mean, I'm one of those owners that washes dishes.
That's right.
I'm one of those owners that
you don't need from the back.
I don't need from the back. I wash dishes. I serve drinks. I will work at the bar.
That's beautiful.
I will cook if I have to cook. And I will even plate food,
That's just you. So, I guess that's a bit of you and that motherly instinct as well. Because there's absolutely no way. I think it's even in our DNA. Exactly. There's no way that I'm going to sit at the corner and say, listen, I'm the boss here.
Yes.
Make sure that these things are done. Go and straighten them out. That's how you do it.
I clear tables. I'll be walking around talking to customers. I see customers are finished eating and I clear table. And they go, no, you don't have to do that. Yes, I do.
I am
so I'm one of those people that will clear tables, will say, what do you need another drink, But also, I believe that when you're on a restaurant, and it's something I keep trying to teach my waitrons, is that just because you've got a specific section doesn't mean that section is yours.
And you're not going to pick up a piece of paper that's
100%. The entire restaurant is your section. And if the one person is busy, you need to be able, because one experience that goes on social media means that's 20 customers that are not going to come back.
They're never coming back, you lost them. And they tell other people, by the way.
Exactly, don't ever go there because
so the whole
of X,
thing
Y, and Z. But you know, funny enough, I've been so blessed. You know, any complaints, whether good or compliments, have really, the compliments have gone to social media, which is great. And the compliments have actually come via Messenger. So not everybody gets to see them, you know. And we've been able to deal with them, and customers have been really happy about how we've dealt with them. So, or a phone call, and so we've been really, really blessed.
And your kitchen actually went far. You actually took this home sometime as well, because you didn't just stop with the fact that you were able to save La Pizza Pazza through that COVID period, because it's still here standing.
It's still going.
And that's just commendable. That's really great. It shows that there's actually a blessing that was meant for you, and you're the right person to run the ship. But you and your husband have gone out of your way to lend a helping hand and extend yourselves. I think that's one of the reasons you've been able to have so many blessings coming your way. The fact that during the COVID period again, I saw some posts from you where you would cook these meals and make these sandwiches and go out there. My friends sometimes, he would actually get touching and you're busy cutting bread. So that's the kind of person that you and your husband are, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Listen, we believe, you know, whether we're in a 1-room or a 5-room bedroom house or whatever it is, but we believe that we're blessed. You know, sometimes you always think that your problems are worse than everybody else's in the world, and then you come across somebody else.
And then you know the real truth.
And one of the biggest things because of COVID is that people lost work or jobs. And I may not be able to hire everybody that is looking for a job, but you work in that same area, Pine Town, you know, you've got different spots where people are constantly asking for work and sitting there the whole day. Now imagine sitting there the whole day and you don't have a single
and
meal.
You have to go back home to your wife and your kids.
Exactly.
And Magdalene did about that you're going to come back with something. If you have nothing, because when you're not so lucky.
So we thought a sami and a fruit, and then I think at a later stage we added on some chips, you know, just to make it, you know, a decent tinyana lunch.
Not just decent tinyana, because Omunyu who is wealthy, mind you, when you're in the space that you're in, you're actually upcoming. Quarter the day, let me spend $5 of my money. They'd rather hoard that. So you are blessed just by doing that.
100%. But I also want to explain that side of the business, and this is something that I was talking to, and I'm hoping you'll get an opportunity to speak to her as well.
Right.
But there's a friend of mine by the name of Brenda. She's an ESCOM contractor. She's run a very lucrative business for the past 18 years, and the things that we've been experiencing together in terms of business for the last couple of months, and she said to me, she now understands how when people who run businesses have been battling so much, and Oscar, and you go, hey, can I borrow 100 rand? You say, hey, I don't have money. Or you go to this family member, they go, I can't help you. And they go through all, banks don't want to touch you, nobody, and eventually you soldier on, and you get to a point where now everything is like successful, everything's going smoothly, everything's going better, bigger. And then all of a sudden, Oscar, tell where you all of a sudden,
you have to try and retain this somehow, because I had to work very hard to come where I am.
Yes.
Mind you, now in Jado Oscar, you got your own legs in
so now I've understood.
But we're not so happy.
I've understood why some rich or successful business people. That's one thing.
And they're all like that. They call them
because
rookies.
Also when things work out for them, people start to take advantage. And when they had nothing, nobody wanted to help them. So I'll give them that.
And they cannot keep giving
justification. 100%. So no, we actually went. I mean, I'm releasing it now, but we even went even further than that, because during COVID, it used to irritate me and actually make me very angry, because I thought it was. So that when you're giving somebody, you take a picture. Oh, this is what I'm doing, and all of that stuff.
That's not on.
When COVID started, my mother, Ohlale Molweni, said to me, listen, there's just these 6 families that I know of that are really, really battling.
That's right.
And my husband and I were glad. We went to Cambridge. We bought rice, flour, everything, oil, butter. We spent about $1,000 on each family, and we went and gave that.
Extending yourself. That's how you keep winning.
But we never posted
you pass
that.
it forward.
We never posted that.
No, you don't have to.
No, you don't.
And we love it when you don't, because it's the hearts of the people that receive that are going to open more blessings for you. You don't need to tell them.
There's no bigger blessing than a person saying thank you.
Trust me, it's gonna come back tenfold. So now we're gonna be focusing on La Pizza Pazza.
Yes.
And it's an Italian restaurant, and it is situated in Kloof, right?
Yes, Delcane Center.
Yes, right. What is it that you serve? What are you like? What do you specialize in?
So every time that people see La Pizza Pazza, they look up and they think, that place sells pizza.
Another pizza, yeah.
So La Pizza Pazza actually means crazy pizza in
Seriously
Italian.
now?
Yes. So yes, we are pizza and pasta are Italian meals, but we don't only sell pizza and pasta.
Not limited to that.
So we do seafood, we do steaks, we do all types of chicken dishes.
Holistic.
It's a proper restaurant.
And I can actually see how.
And we're not fine dining either. We are a family restaurant.
Mainstream.
You can come in and have a lekker dinner with your family. You know, the kids, we don't have a play area, unfortunately.
But the space, it's so wide. I mean, I'm just looking at the sections that you even have here. You've got, right now we're sitting on
we've got the terrace.
Right.
Which outlooks.
You see, I knew that word was going to catch me. So
we got the terrace, which basically you can have a full-on function.
That's right.
Up to 25 people. We've also got the wine loft, which takes up to 30 people. Private, you can do your own thing. But in total we're about 180 seater.
Get out of here! That is megalithic.
So it's quite big. Too big. The rental is killing me.
No, but it's amazing, and trust me, people are gonna have to come through and just enjoy the fact that you're pushing 90% of
Listen, also one of the other things, like the area we're sitting in now, you'll see it. Obviously, it's got a TV and everything. So we've had people like the Ferrari Club.
Wow.
Come here. We've got.
I saw the pictures there.
We've got the guys that watch.
And that's Italian, by the way. So it was in celebration. Yes. They were home.
They will come. The guys. You've got these old buddies that will come and watch the Formula One. We've got motorbikes clubs. We've had people like Toastmasters. We've had Toastmasters. We've had the Highway Pigeon Club. You know, things that you and I would think,
but to be a part of it, it's fun as well.
Bowling clubs, book clubs. We've had baby showers. We've had bridal showers. Now,
and the nice thing is that it's so conveniently located. It's right here, close to about at least 5-10 minutes from Pazza.
Sorry?
It's about 5 to 10 minutes from Pazza?
Yes, 5-10 minutes up the hill to Kloof, through the M13.
Right.
And then you off-ramp off Pioneer Road. So sometimes, I always make a reference to we are above Woolworths.
That's right.
So if you know where the Woolworths is in Kloof, we're above Woolworths. Just
and you are above Woolworths.
Yeah, we
and
are.
I mean that in every single way.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Listen, Moira, thank you so much. Listen, I'm going to have to let you go now, but thank you so much. I think you've given us at least a good, close to an hour, and it's actually beautiful stuff. Now, I'm going to let you go. How do people get through, besides the fact that you're going to give us the address and everything, because we want seats to be filled with people. How do people get through to you on social media? Where's the page? How do they link to you? And can they order? And how do they order? Tell us the nitty-gritty.
Okay, so on Facebook, we are called L.A. Pizza Pazza, as a pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A, and P-A-Z-Z-A. That's our Facebook, and then we've got our Instagram page, which is _Pizza Pazza. You can email us at lapizzapazza@telcomsa.net.
That's right.
And then on our Facebook page is also a WhatsApp button, which comes directly to my phone.
Perfect.
So you can WhatsApp your order, you can make a booking, and on our website is www.lapizzapazza.co.za. You can even book online.
That's everything.
And we get the notification.
There you go. So this is La Pizza Pazza. And it is in Kloof. Do come through and pay them a visit. It's run by a proudly beautiful woman who's Mrs. Ngongoma. I almost did that.
Listen,
logo.
we've called worse. We called Ngongoma.
You know what I mean?
Ngongoma,
So do come through. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing. They've got food, they've got seafood, they've got steaks, they've got your pizza and your pasta. Basically, there's not a single thing that you.
And you can't get a pizza like that's
Definitely
made here.
not. Definitely
Wood
not.
fire.
Wood fire.
Not frozen.
Not the conventional
No,
oven.
wood
Electric.
from scratch.
Straight.
Dough,
Yeah, what it up?
Napolitano sauce, ingredients put on while you wait.
But by the master chefs, of course.
Yes, of course.
That's right. Thank you so much again
Thank
for
you.
allowing us to come through. Unfiltered
that
is
was
yours,
fun.
and it was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Moira.
yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna share this, and obviously we would love for people to show their love and support,
Yes.
not only by sharing the video, that is definitely needed, not only by giving love and sharing likes, but to actually come through to the establishment and see what beautiful work that a black woman can do and has done. So come through and enjoy the beautiful food that they have here at La Pizza Pazza. It's here in Kloof. I'm going to be signing out now.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Moira,
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
through,
you.
or at least I came through to you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for allowing us
Yeah.
to come through to your beautiful restaurant. That's us signing out. That's Unfiltered with Oscar. Please switch that thing go.
Wow, that was nice.
Yeah.